Well, basically, always sang. I came from Bradford, Yorkshire, and I had a proper job for 3 months in Boots Chemist, but I always had ambitions to be a singer, and I kind of started to get a record deal straight away. I was very lucky. I got a record deal at 17, so that's how I got into the business.
You've lost the accent already because you're supposed to say Bradford.
I know. Well, I've been in London longer than I was in Bradford, actually.
You started with a local dance band then, did you, in the 60s?
I did. I used to do 3 nights a week with a dance band and in my little frock and sit down, until it was my turn to sing, and then I'd get up and sing the standards. It was a good experience.
It was the decade, of course, of all-girl groups and lots of sort of famous numbers from Motown and from Phil Spector. Which was the one that influenced you most?
I think Motown was my thing. I think when you, as you say, when you're in your teens, you are kind of influenced, and Motown was the soul influence was my major influence. Yeah.
A black label, obviously.
Yep.
But you signed for them.
I did. I did one album for them in '69. I think they wanted to record a European artist, and I was lucky enough to be asked to go over there. And the album was, I play it now, and I look, it didn't do very much, but I think I did quite a good job in the situation I was in. I was singing with other people's backing tracks and things like that, because they used to do that with a new signing. They'd give you these kind of strange run-ins with old backing tracks. But it was, there were some nice people there. I did a couple of good tracks on the album.
It was a difficult time to make a name for yourself, though, because there were so many people breaking into the business.
Well, it was '69 when I did that, actually. Yeah, it was. The '60s were. I was kind of watching that whole '60s thing, from the sidelines. It was quite interesting.
Yeah. So who were your sort of major influences then? Who sort of put you on the road to success?
Well, I had a manager at the time who also looked after Dusty Springfield, who I was a huge fan of. And, that was basically my start. And I had friends on Ready, Steady, Go. I used to appear on that sometimes, which was amazing.
I mean, that was one of the earliest and most successful pop music programs on television. I mean, you've done a lot of backing singing as well over the years, haven't you? Working with God knows how many famous people.
Yeah, I used to make some money in those days. I used to do the odd sessions. And, I was on Everlasting Love, Love Affairs single. And I did a lot of things with Dusty. I did some Little by Little, Some of Your Loving, the early single hit she had. It's good fun,
The major success, though, came when you signed with Elton John's label Rocket Records, wasn't it, in the early 70s?
Yes, it was '73. I had my first hit with Amoureuse, and up till then I'd been kind of the little girl. Everybody had been much older than me, and around the early '70s I started to work with people of my own age. So it was a good time for me. I had finally had a bit of a breakthrough. It was good fun.
And we heard Amoureuse, first hit for you, 1973. It was a big break signing for Rocket Records, wasn't it? Why such a major success? Was it the album itself? Because it was very popular, wasn't it?
Well, the album, did quite well. I thought I was on the right tracks there. And Elton produced the album, of course. And I went on to have quite a few singles. Didn't quite hit a musical direction in those days, which is, I'm kind of addressing in this late time, I think I did all sorts of types of music, pop and rock and acoustic and everything. But I'm trying to get myself into one style for a while, so people know what I'm doing.
The problem is you can sing anything.
Well, sometimes. Yeah, I mean,
you're too versatile for your own good. That's your problem.
I've had a dabble in all sorts of music,
So there were a number of successes, but 1976 was the big year, and I suppose, in a way, you'd probably get tired of people asking you about Don't Go Breaking My Heart. It was Elton John's only #1 until recent years, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sacrifice, was it? Yeah, I think
that's
it was
right,
Sacrifice,
yeah. That must have been a big, exciting time for you to actually get up in the morning and hear your record #1 in the charts.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was great fun. If you listen to the record, it cheers you up, doesn't it? Apparently, someone told me the other day that EMI hated it. They didn't think it was going to do anything, which I thought was quite fun. And so, of course, it went on to be a worldwide #1. So you never know, do you?
When you hear it now, do you remember the time of recording it and so on?
Oh, yes, I remember the fun we had, going promoting it, because it's always good fun promoting something that is in the top 10. Because you've kind of already done it, so you can kind of sit back and enjoy the glory, if you like. It's good fun.
Now, don't go breaking my heart. Click on the like button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out in the future. And help the channel going forward by subscribing if you possibly can.